Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda and this is A Bookish Persuasion. Today I wanted to do the Booktube Newbie Tag as I am a Booktube newbie and I thought this would be a good way for you guys to get to know me. I already did an intro video previously, but this is more going to go through like the actual tag that was created years ago. I'll just answer a lot of questions and maybe show you some of my favorite books and all of that kind of thing. All right, so let's get into it. Question number one is, why did you start this channel? I talked about this a little bit in my intro video. Basically, I wanted to start a YouTube channel many years ago, probably 6 years ago, 5 years ago. But at the time, I was incentivized to do it to try to earn extra income. And I just felt like I didn't want to put the pressure on reading to do that. So I decided that time was not right for me and I focused on other endeavors instead. And now I'm doing it strictly for me. This is gonna be something fun. It's a creative outlet. I get to talk about books. I get to show you books, touch and feel all the books. You know, we all love doing that if you're a book fan of books like I am. And I just want to be more involved. I've been an observer for quite a long time and I really just want to become more of an active participant. So question number two is, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? Probably nothing. I'm pretty sure anything creative or anything that has been creative has been done, except Books and Lala. Her videos are always just blow my mind. But I would love to try and get more creative. I would love to try and get more experimental, and I don't know, I'm kind of casual. I honestly am still figuring myself out as a reader, so that's probably really helpful to those of you who are doing the same. I also work in sales, insurance sales, so I don't do anything involving books in my regular day life. So I think that that's going to be a fun takeaway as well. I mean, I'm not going to talk about sales on this channel, but I mean, it gives me a little bit of a different background. The question number three, what are you most excited about for this new channel? Basically, being the active participant part. I just am so excited to try and make bookish friends. I mentioned before, I don't have a lot of people in my life that read, or if they do read, they just don't read the same types of books that I do, or as much, or as many books as I do. So I just want to be more involved with you as a Booktube community, hopefully make some more bookish friends, online, real life, I don't care. And being that active participant in the readathons and the challenges, and being able to provide you with recommendations, because when I was younger, I really wish I had had recommendations that are available from booktubers now. So I hope to be able to do that to you, or do that for you. Why do you love reading is question number four. Basically, I've been a reader my entire life. My parents joke that I taught myself how to read. Like, I was always reading really far ahead of my reading level. I just love to read. I don't honestly know what caused me to enjoy reading. Now I know that it's escapism. Like, I love putting myself into the life of a character and their world, and I love experiencing what they're experiencing and going on their journey. And if it's magical or whimsical or fantastical or whatever the case might be, that's just super fun. I just find it so much fun. And regular life is so mundane sometimes, especially with being in a pandemic right now. You need a little bit of fun, you need a little bit of creativity. So that's ultimately why I do it. And the ability to experience and live a lot of different lives, even if they're real or not. Question number five, what book or series got you into reading? So I've set aside a couple because there's different stages of my life, as I'm sure many of you, school, education, like college, working, you don't have as much time to read. So there's different books for different parts of my life that really inspired me, but I've been reading since I was a kid. I do not remember what I would read when I was really little, probably like picture books or something like that, but I do remember starting late elementary school, early middle school, the kind of books I would read. I really loved the Animorph series by K.A. Applegate. That was one of my favorite series. I really enjoyed Among the Hidden series by Margaret Haddix. Little House on the Prairie, or Little House in the Big Woods. I don't know. The Little House series by Laura Ingalls. I really enjoyed that. And then there's some that weren't series as much as like collections, but E.B. White. I really loved The Trumpet and the Swan and Stuart Little when I was a kid. Also, one of my favorite books of all time was A Little Princess. This is the copy I owned when I first read it. I will never get rid of this copy. I also really enjoyed another classic, Little Women. Lots of descriptive romantic type details in there. I liked Scott O'Dale, Island of the Blue Dolphins. Where the Red Fern Grows by Wilson Rawls. Super emotional, super sad, but so good. And then I really liked this collection, the Dear America Journey. The Dear America Journals. And I liked the Royal Diaries journals. And I've actually started rebuilding my collection of these. They're historical fiction, but for like middle grade or even children age. And they're just like journal entries. And I love these. And I plan to reread them, I believe. Then as I got a little bit older, middle school hit, and I would start reading books like Roots by Alex Haley. Yes, I read this entire book in the 6th grade. Super good, super impactful. I'm really glad I read it. I loved the Ugly series by Scott Westerfield when I was in middle school. I loved the Redwall series by Brian Jacques in middle school. And then as I got into high school, Twilight hit. And this is the original copy I got from a friend, Kendra Winchester. Her channel is Katie Winchester. I'll link it down below. But she gave me this series when we were like 16, and that probably introduced me into the book fandom community because I was not allowed to read Harry Potter by J.K. Rowling. But I did end up sneak reading that as I grew older. So the Harry Potter series was still another influential series as well. Out of college, I read The Hunger Games, which, wow, by Suzanne Collins, one of my favorite series of all time. I loved the City of Bones series by Cassandra Clare, or it could be the Mortal Instruments series. The first one's just called City of Bones. I liked the Gone series by Michael Grant. Problematic author, but at the time I really enjoyed this series. And then probably as I started working, like maybe around like 23 to 25 age, I read the Selection series by Kiera Cass. Loved it. One of my favorite series of all time. And then I read A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. And this is my all-time favorite series. She's my all-time favorite author. Love her. Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I really enjoyed the Game of Thrones show, so I started reading these books, and I'm happy to say they're very true. The show is very true to the book, and these are such good books. Well, I've only read the first one, but I plan to read the rest of the series. Recently, I read Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. I have not read the rest of the series, but I can already tell I'm going to love the rest of it. And then my most recent favorite series of all time is From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and love it. Love it. So these are some books that shaped my life. So these are probably more of what I'm into now. I love like big, thick, chunky paperbacks, but you know, I have a wide variety of interests, as I'm sure a lot of readers do. We like to read all the books. Number 6, what questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? I have several favorite booktubers. My biggest questions are, how do you stay creative? Like, how do you publish content that nobody else has created? Because that's just not my forte at the moment. Hopefully it becomes my forte, but it's not at the moment. And then what's your process like? Like, I'm still figuring out editing and filming and lighting and how to talk about books, how to review books, what to say, what not to say. So I would just love to learn more about that from you guys. Question number 7 is, what challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be hardest to overcome? Editing and making thumbnails. That's it. I've never done that before. It's gonna be fun. I'll figure it out. Number 8 is, when did you start reading? I started reading as a child. I mentioned earlier, my parents always joked that I kind of taught myself how to read. I was homeschooled for 2 years, so I would just read all the time. Question number 9, where do you read? So I primarily read in the recliner in my living room, in my bed at night, or when it's nice outside, I like to read in my hammock in our backyard. And then I also listen to audiobooks a lot, so if I'm going on walks or cleaning or, I don't know, just moving around the house, I'll sometimes listen to an audiobook. I'll play video games while I listen to an audiobook. It's just, I read all over the place. And then number 10, what kind of books do you like to read? I clearly gave you a large variety of books that I've liked to read, but I think some genres would be like fantasy, sci-fi, romance, paranormal. I like biographies, memoirs, that type of nonfiction. And I like adult contemporary, as long as it's unique. I don't really want a day-to-day life. I want something a little bit unique about it. But that's the Booktube Newbie Tag. Hopefully you guys liked this and it gave you some insight into me as a booktuber and as a reader. Hopefully we find some things that we both like. If you have recommendations for me based on what I've shown you over the years has really impacted me and that I've loved, definitely put it in the comments below. If you're doing this tag, I would love to see it. Link me your channel down below as well. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!